Leaving Michigan was probably one of the hardest decisions that I have ever made in my life. Leaving my family, my life that I once knew, and just moving across the country. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. I left everything for Arizona. And I'll tell you exactly why we made the move and what nobody tells you when you're relocating with a family.
So, when I was in Michigan, I felt like I hit a glass ceiling because when I was there, I had good family support. I had my friends there. I grew up, I was familiar with my surroundings. But I feel like I was getting stagnant in my career growth and stagnant in life in general because it was like the same old thing. And you know, with life, as people, we hate to be stagnant. Stagnant is not a good thing. And being in Michigan definitely felt like that. So I had to experience some type of change. Arizona wasn't always my first choice. There was other states I wanted to go to, such as Texas, North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, just to name a few. And the reason why Arizona came up is because of recruiter. Now, Texas was like the first one on my mind, just to give you that, why I'm so big on Texas, because when I originally got hired in to GM, they wanted me to come to Texas. So that's why I was big on it, because when I researched Texas, it was a huge tech industry hub and it fit well for my career, and that's why. So with Arizona, a recruiter reached out to me. I forgot what it was. Like, was it Monster? Was it LinkedIn or something? But the recruiter reached out to me, and at this time, I was skeptical on coming to Arizona because I never heard people talk about coming to Arizona and the quality of life and stuff to do. So that was something unique for me. So when the state came up, I discussed with my wife at the time because she was pregnant with our firstborn, and I was like, hey, what you think about moving to Arizona? Now, in her mind, she was like, what? Who want to go to Arizona? And me, I was being open-minded, like, I don't know, like there's job growth when I do the research out there. The cost of living is better, the quality of life. Now, with her, she said, okay, let's go ahead and do a pros and cons list and see which matters to us most. So that's what we sat down and did. So for me, the pros for me to staying in Michigan was that, okay, I had my friends, I had my family support, I had a decent quality of life, but at the same time, when I'm thinking about my firstborn, the schooling where we was at was decent, but the quality of life overall was not that great. But, and my cons was in Michigan that I disliked the snow. I was very getting tired of driving in the snow. I was tired of like my summers being cut short, my springs getting cut short. And fourth was that the same old industry, being in the automotive industry, being a big three. And I'm a diehard car enthusiast, but based on my career, if I'm thinking about being a provider, it wasn't fit for me because it was so volatile, so flexible. There's always so many layoffs and stuff going on. Starting a family and layoffs don't go hand in hand. So a decision had to be made. So to show you how God works, a recruiter reached out to me. He reached out to me and he was talking about like, hey, come out to Arizona, the job market is booming and stuff like that. So I told him, let me think about it. I'll call you back. So when we did that, it was about 2 days later, he reached back out again. What you think about coming to Arizona? And I said, okay, I'll think about it. We'll talk about the offer and everything like that and the cost of living. And when I tell you guys, like the biggest challenges was like, how are we going to get out here? How much is it going to cost for us to relocate out here? What's the cost of living and all of that? Like this job, recruiter did his work. Like the work that he did was phenomenal. Like he broke down the cost of living for me. He broke down like the cost. He broke down the cost of living for me. He broke down like the best areas, the best schools, because I did tell him I was starting a family. And he also just broke down like the salary, like of the job. Like that's one of the biggest things because the salary increase compared to where I was working 7 years to get to where I was at was astronomically. So moving out here, I did get a nice bump in pay, but the quality of life and everything was a lot better because out here in Arizona, there's stuff to do. Like as I'm talking to you guys, it's 5:30 in the morning. I'm going outside for my walk. In Michigan, I could never do this because the weather is so flexible. 1 minute it's hot, the next minute it's cold, the next minute it's raining. Like here, it's kind of consistent all year round. So for me, that was like one of my primary things. So that was a pro for me. But the challenge that me and my wife had was the family support. That was big, especially bringing someone into this world. So while we was there looking, believe it or not, I'm giving you guys like a rundown like this within the year time. So within this year, we did have our firstborn. So he was about 1.5 before we decided to make the move to come out here to Arizona. And that is where we was like, okay, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it now because we don't want to wait until they start school and then we're gonna be doing the coulda, shoulda, wouldas because you only live once and we want to make sure to take advantage of it. So that's what we did, and this job flew me out here. That flew my family out here, and they let us like spend a week. So we actually had a week to actually enjoy Arizona when I came out here. So I do some clips. We went around, we saw the city. It was raining when we got out here, believe it or not, because we came kind of during the beginning of monsoon season. So it was nice. It was smelling good. It was looking good. The city was nice. So everything was completely new. We was like, okay, we're getting California vibes, but not California prices. So that's like one of the biggest things right there. And then we started mapping out like, okay, what are we close to? What cities? We're close to Las Vegas. We're close to San Diego. We're close to LA. We're close to Albuquerque. We're close to El Paso. So all of that stuff, when we start like jotting it down, it started to make sense. So here we are, which leads me to my point is that, hey, when opportunity shows up, you better be prepared for it. And I feel like that's where people start to get stagnant in life because people used to their surroundings, people used to their environment and stuff like that. And you're really not going to grow. Or how do you expect yourself to grow if you're still going to be where you at? So that was that right there. So we jumped up on it. So we came out here. Now, having no family support hit us hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like having no family support, having no friends, it hit us hard after the first month. But we got through it. We perseverance through it, and this is like one of the greatest decisions we ever made because it really wasn't that bad once we settled down. We talked to our parents and everything, and just getting settled in over here. Even though they know that hey, it's gonna be a new change, but for us. And for them, they know it was better and they understood the quality of life. And being out here, I feel like it's probably one of the best decisions I have ever made for myself, I ever made for my family, and everything. Because Arizona actually taught me how to be slow, like to slow down and to appreciate the moment. Just as I'm looking around, going out for this walk, like it appreciates me to look at the mountains and show me like, hey, it's beauty everywhere. Life is what you make it. And it's no matter where you stay at, like as long as you stay the course, as long as you be prepared and stay head down, that everything's gonna be okay. Especially if you keep God at the head of your household and the head of your life. So in Arizona, I appreciate that because everything is slow. Not anybody is out here trying to like compete. Because when you're in the city, I feel like in that type of environment that it gets kind of hard. Like, and I just want to stop and say this because it gets kind of hard because everybody want to compete, everybody want to compare themselves to get against each other. And once you get to a certain status in life, that's when I feel like we start to plateau. And I'm starting to see like how people live over here, how they utilize their money, and how people like just enjoy being out, exercising like how I'm doing now. Like if I was in the city, I really wasn't big on exercising. I was more big on going out to eat, going home, playing video games, and then just doing whatever my peers said, hey, you feel like doing this? So that's what we ended up doing. But as of now, coming out here, focusing on myself. That's what Arizona allowed me to do. Focus on myself, focus on my family, focus on my career, and become a better version of myself. Because if not, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. Like, even though I have been doing YouTube in Michigan, that was more car focused. But coming out here, this helps me to enjoy life more. This more like lifestyle focused. This more about sharing with you guys how I'm growing and becoming a better person. And this is the real story. This is the real background. This is the foreground of why I decided to move my family to Arizona. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. Thank you for staying along and vibing out with me. So I'm about to go ahead and finish this walk, and I'll see you guys in the next video.